What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the MA Sports Pod with Michael and Angelo. And today, our last episode, we just went over fantasy running backs. Today, we're going to be doing fantasy quarterbacks and tight ends. So,
all right, let's get right into it. I think for the 1 and 2, for me personally, it's Mahomes and Hurts. Mahomes is, last season he just proved it. He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. And Hurts is just a fantasy. He's going to be so good in fantasy with his rushing, and that offense is very high-powered. So I'm excited to see what both of them do in fantasy.
Yeah, no debate with Mahomes and Hurts. I think they should be the 1-2 on everyone's board. I have Hurts 1 and Mahomes 2, but you're absolutely right. Mahomes did prove he was one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and he's also one of the best fantasy quarterbacks of all time. I mean, every single year he's played, he has been
The number one
top
quarterback.
3, probably number 1.
I think he's been number 1. Yeah, he was number 1 last year, number 1 the year before.
I mean, that's unbelievable. So even for me to have Hurts over him is a hot take, but I just love the way that offense operates with Jalen Hurts and that QB sneak, and I love his rushing upside. So I just think if anyone's taking that title away from Mahomes, it's Hurts here. But listen, I'm not mad at you if you take Hurts before Mahomes. I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you if you take Mahomes before Hurts. It's very, very close in my eyes for fantasy. But yeah, I think the clear 1 and 2 there. But for 3, I have Josh Allen. I think that's probably clear on a lot of people's boards. But it might get dicey. It might be Fields for some people. It might be Lamar for some people. But I think Allen has the big arm along with the rushing, and he's like a power back kind of dude. He lowers his shoulders to guys, but he has the agility too. And he's got a cannon. He's just ultra talented, but he'll throw a lot of picks. So he's not going to
are a problem with him. Yeah,
he's not going to be as high as Mahomes and Hurts. But yeah, so what's your explanation on Allen?
Allen, as you said it before, he's just a freak athlete and just a big body at the quarterback position. He can get out of the pocket. He's not afraid of contact. But there is a turnover problem. But I think it should be better today. Or no, better this season. Not better this season. And I think he does throw less picks. But yeah, I like him at the 3 spot. And with Lamar Jackson at the 4 spot, I think Lamar Jackson has help now in his receiving core. And he gets outside the pocket and he's one of the fastest quarterbacks. He's the fastest quarterback.
Okay, Lamar Jackson at 4 that's interesting to me. I have him at 5. I agree with everything you're saying with him. I just think, I don't know, is it bad to say he's due for a big injury with his style of play? I'm not wishing injury on him.
Didn't he have an injury last year?
It was like a minor thing.
Yeah, and he held out, right?
But, dude, he...
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I hope not, yeah, but I have like a weird feeling, but I'm not ranking players off that, of course. I have him at 5. I just think Fields at 4. He's my 4 Fields here. I think he's a better fantasy option. I think he's younger than Lamar, and I know Lamar's still very young. He's very spry, but Justin Fields here, he's just like probably a top 3 running quarterback in the game. I put his rushing abilities above Lamar. And I don't think he's all that good of a player.
It's a hot take.
I don't think he's all that good of a player. But for fantasy, dude, he's so good.
I think we're forgetting who Lamar Jackson is, though. Lamar is that guy.
Okay, I didn't ask you to fold them. It's okay. Thank you. All right, that works.
It's all right.
You shut my door. Okay.
All right.
Just cut that. Where do we leave off? Let's say
Lamar Jackson. He's a beast, and if he doesn't get injured, I think he does do better in fantasy than Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a good fantasy quarterback. On the contrary, I don't really like him as a normal quarterback, as a player, but he's a good fantasy quarterback. So he's my 5. And Burrow's an honorable mention for me because Burrow is just, as a player, top 3.
Yeah, dude, when Fields turned it up last year, he was producing fantasy numbers. I think he was the number one fantasy quarterback in every single week for the last like 7 weeks of the season. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I love his fantasy upside, and I think maybe they can do a little better with the weapons around him still. Like the Bears' weapons are still not good, but I think he could do a lot of it himself, and that's a lot for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you with Burrow. I think Burrow should definitely be an honorable mention there. He's right outside my top 5 just because of how high powered the offense is. Burrow is sneaky with his legs too. He's such a good processor of the game. So he's always going to be a good fantasy option there for you. Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert is a very good one. And also Daniel Jones, I think, has the potential to have a good fantasy year this year. I think Daniel Jones he's using his legs more, and I think they're going to incorporate that even more this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had a good year. But yes, Justin Herbert is definitely going to have a good year.
Yeah, it worries me that I think teams might be able to figure out the style of Jones's play.
I mean, last year, you look at the Chicago Bears game, we ran the same play for the first half, and they were clueless. But yes, I agree. They will try to contain him more, but I think that will open up things, check downs or in the passing game. So, or open up Saquon Barkley even more, you know?
Fair. Yeah, definitely fair. Aaron Rodgers, too.
Aaron Rodgers has weapons.
High-powered off, dude. I mean, he's old, but if you think he still has it, then definitely take a shot on him. He could be a top 5 guy.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers has weapons, and he even produced in Green Bay last year towards the end of the season. But yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers has a good fantasy year. Not like create like top 5 numbers, but he still get a good amount of points for you. So
yeah, definitely. I think after like those guys, maybe you take Tua. You trust Tua for
or Geno Smith. We haven't even talked about
for a couple starts, but I think after the guys that we've really hit on, Kyler Murray's hurt. He's not going to be back for a while.
Derek Carr at the Saints could be interesting.
Yeah, maybe even Jared Goff. But even the guys we're naming now are just streamer options. Like, after those big guys, you're just looking to stream quarterbacks off the waiver wire, maybe a bench pickup. But those are, like, the main guys that you want to be starting are those 8, 9 guys that we went over.
Yeah.
And those are the top fantasy guys for sure.
Yeah, I agree. You want to get into tight ends?
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson, but as of right now, it's too early to tell. Right now.
Yeah, but I'll take him in.
You could say that about C.J. Stroud too, and Bryce Young.
Anthony Richardson in the last round if he's there. I'll hold him on my bench. Yeah.
He has the upside, so for fantasy especially.
Oh yeah.
So let's get. You want to get into tight ends?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So we don't have to explain Kelsey, but he's going to be a first round pick. I think Kelsey's the one. I don't think it's close. He's going to be a first round pick. Like, we don't have to explain why. Andrews and Kittle, 2 and 3, interchangeable. I'll take Kittle because I think Kittle and Purdy connect more.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson have a great connection, but I think the Kittle-Purdy connection is on the same level, and I think Kittle is more talented than Andrews, so I'll take Kittle there.
Speaking of Brock Purdy, I know this is a little off topic, but Trey Lance is healthy right now.
Yeah, but he's like Sam Darnold on the depth chart.
That's interesting to me, to be honest, because I don't know. That could be for another episode. We could talk about that. But I have Kittle and Andrews 2 and 3, and then for 4 I have Hawkinson. I think Hawkinson's gonna have a really good year this year. Okay. And I have, honorable mention, or my 5 is Darren Waller. I think Waller is going to be a big factor in the Giants' offense, and I like him for fantasy.
Yeah, I really love Hawkinson. I'm right there with you. I think someone needs to be the complement to Jefferson after the Thielen departure. But and Hawkinson's so talented. You saw what he did in that Giants game, man. He was putting up numbers in the wild card game. But what was your other option?
Darren Waller.
Yes, I like that a lot too. That's sleepy for the Giants offense, man. For a team that doesn't have a lot, that's could emerge as the big number one option. And especially with tight ends being so fluky, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Waller could turn out as a consistent option this year. So I like it. I hope Kyle Pitts is good, dude. He has too much talent to not be, and he was drafted too high to not and out. So I pray that he's good.
I think
man.
Dawson Knox is also going to be pretty good this year in fantasy.
Yeah, they did take Kincaid, and
he might.
But that's a rookie tight end.
Yeah.
Rookie tight ends don't really do much, but he's like very receiving oriented. He's not really a blocker, so that could be good for fantasy. And going in the same vein as that is Evan Ingram, another very receiving oriented tight end.
Evan Ingram, great game against the Jets. He just lit you guys up.
Yes, he
That's
did.
another very high-powered offense in the Jaguars, and he is a compliment to them because he's like another wide receiver out there, just a big body. So I really like Evan Ingram for fantasy.
Yeah. I mean, can he catch though? If he's catching them, he can do it after the catch, but he needs to look it in.
Yeah, that's why they ran so many screens for him.
I know.
So
but
yeah,
him. It's just hard to find like a consistent tight end besides outside the top 3-4 guys, and even Michael Mayer, the Notre Dame tight end that just got drafted to Oakland. I like him a lot, or I guess not Oakland anymore, Vegas, but I like him a lot. But again, it's like a rookie, and I don't like betting on rookie tight ends. So if you want to take a flyer on him in the last round, go ahead. I'm not mad at it, but you could probably just stream tight ends, honestly.
Another hit or miss tight end that has been like hit or miss these past 2 years, I think, is Mike Gesicki. I think
every year of his career he's been hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss. Some like if you pick him up for 1 week, he could have a terrible game or like 30 points because there's so many weapons on that Dolphins team. So he could be a sleeper this year. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. He's not on the Dolphins anymore.
Oh yeah,
he's on the Patriots, and I kind of really like him on the Patriots.
He was on the Dolphins.
I actually, now that we're talking about that, I love that fit. Gesicki on the Patriots might be disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I'm putting him in like my top.
I totally forgot he was on my
top 10 tight end list.
Yeah,
but yeah, I like that fit a lot.
Yeah, I think he could have a sneaky good year for fantasy.
What's the Bears tight end name? I keep forgetting him.
I was thinking about the Steelers tight end.
Oh, Freiermuth?
Yeah, I think he is gonna have a good year in fantasy as well.
Yes. Yeah, Freiermuth is good. He's good, dude. He especially with Pickett coming into his own in the second year, I think Freiermuth emerges as the top option for him.
Yeah. Even though I'm not as high on Kenny Pickett as most people are, but I think he still does have good numbers for a tight end.
I think the league is coming into its own for tight ends are going to be better fantasy options sooner rather than later, I think. I think you just had a really bad past 5-7 years of just 1 to 2 guys ruling them all, but I think the talent is kind of dispersing around. More people are running wide sets with the tight end out wide. So I think tight ends will become a more prominent position in fantasy football, whether it's this year or a couple of years down the line. I think it's going in that direction.
Yeah, I agree. Any other sleepers you want to talk about?
Oh man, for tight end, there's going to be a couple that pop out of nowhere that you'll be able to stream, but I don't have anything right now off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think we'll figure out more as we get closer to the draft. But yeah, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will come back with different positions. Wide receiver position ranking should be next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.